fall, the last thing you want to be doing is coating yourself with toxic chemicals from just to avoid those nasty biting insects. What type of insects are we talking about? Mosquitoes, no-see-ums, gnats, hornets, wasps, moths, you know the kind that drive you nuts when you're out there trying to enjoy a barbecue or trying to have a cookout with your family. Well, how about if I told you, you're gonna be able to control that population? And here's the thing about we'll just bring up mosquitoes for one, right? The female mosquito lays about 1 to 200 eggs every single day. So once you have a mosquito, a female out there, and they're in your neighborhood, within a matter of time, you're gonna have 201 mosquitoes out there, and then they're gonna have more mosquitoes. So what it's about is controlling the population in a way that's a humane way, and that's what Dynatrap does. Let me show you the bugs, first of all, that it's gonna work on. And it uses a UV attractant light and that carbon dioxide, which it gives off just like humans do. So that's what really draws the bugs in. If you don't love mosquitoes, if you hate flies, wasps, hornets, stink bugs, moths, right? Flapping around your candles, biting midges, beetles, gnats, blowflies, drainflies. I don't even know what a musket is, but it scares me. It's the dastardly musket, but I'm sure it bites, right? Or we wouldn't put it up there. It takes care of all those. How? It basically draws them in with a little bit of a vacuum, the UV light, and that scent that it puts out, which is the same scent that humans put out, which is that carbon dioxide gas. I have 3 choices you can choose from. For the first time ever, we have a half-acre available. All right, and I've got a bunch of colors. I'll get to that in a sec. But the half-acre is perfect if you have a small yard, apartment, condo, right? You're gonna be killing those bugs every single day. In fact, you're gonna get a half-acre, about 2,000 bugs a week you're gonna get rid of, right? If you get the full acre, it's close to 3,000 bugs a week that are not gonna be flying around your yard. And bugs are territorial, especially mosquitoes. They stay within a 1-acre place. So you've got the same mosquitoes biting you day after day. That's how you can get rid of it. So our pricing, half-acre, quarter-acre. Dynatrap has a website, okay? I'm gonna show you our price, and Dynatrap works with us. They gave us a great one-day only price. So for the quarter-acre, HSN's price is $39.95. If you get it at Dynatrap, it's $104, okay? That's what, $65 difference. If you want to get the half-acre, they're doing it at $174. We're doing it at $79. That's a $95 difference. If you get the 1-acre, look at our price for 1 acre. $129 versus $284. We're less than 50 or more than 50% off the retail price that they sell it on Dynatrap.com. And how does it work? Plug it in. That's it. See these over here? I just plug them in. All right? That's all you need to do. And it starts going to work for you, okay? Now, they have that UV bulb built in there. That will last you year after year after year. Okay, we say on average, they can last anywhere, depending on where you live, from like 1 to 2 seasons up to 4 seasons, and Peter will explain that as well. But get it home. I love that it's easy, no toxic chemicals, no sprays. Put it about 30, 40, 50 feet away from where you're enjoying your day or night, and let the bugs be gone. Peter Kilcullen standing by, he's our special guest. Hey, Pete.
Hey, Guy. I mean, an amazing day, and as you mentioned, the best Dynatrap that they've ever developed, and the best time of year to get it. As you mentioned, as soon as you feel it's starting to be above 50 degrees, and that starts to feel good, and we're thinking about going outside, well, those biting insects are also knowing that it's 50 degrees, and they're gonna start moving around, looking to bite someone who's enjoying the outdoors. So this Dynatrap is really the perfect time to get it home and get it working, not just repelling bugs that are attempting to bite you, but trapping them. We're not zapping, we're gonna trap those, you said mosquitoes, Guy. Mosquitoes are the worst problem in my yard, but it's all those other bugs that you mentioned as well, the no-see-ums and the gnats, things like that. It's gonna do a great job. So Guy, let's talk about that technology that makes this so amazing, how it's safe, it's silent, it's super simple to use. All of those things make it a zero maintenance, great way to take care of those biting insects. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with light, we're gonna do it with warmth, and we're gonna do it with carbon dioxide. So let's get in here and I'll show you this light. You know Harry there, he's behind the camera. He's gonna zoom in on that Attractant Glow UV LED bulb. This is the best one they've ever developed, scientifically developed to be the one that attracts the most biting insects, and it will last 27 months. So if you're using it continuously, it's 27 months. But if you're using it at different times, just 4 or 5 months a year, you have several seasons, maybe 4 different seasons you'll be able to use it before replacing that. So the bulb brings them in, it creates the warmth, and then we're gonna heat up this titanium plate and create that carbon dioxide. And I'll show you that. So all of those things bring them in, and then this huge fan is going to suck them down into that collection basket where they are going to stay forever. So check this out, Guy. I think that's the cool thing, that everyone understands that we're going to bring them in. But we normally associate that blue light with zapping and the mess, and you talked about the burning moths when we were talking earlier. But here, it's the fan that's just going to draw them in. Look at that powerful fan. So they get drawn in, they get curious, they think they're about to bite someone, warm-blooded, right? Because they need to do that to reproduce, but we're going to just vacuum them down into that collection basket. So that's the difference. All this technology together makes this the great way to not repel, but to really start to trap and reduce that population. And the ones that are biting are the females, Guy. You know that. Yeah. So they're the ones we're trapping. So now they can't reproduce. So one mosquito that was going to be 200 more mosquitoes, we're trapping that one. And then we're trapping another one and more and more. And you're going to be able to go outside because you're not going to be just constantly eaten by those bugs. If it's mosquitoes like me or those no-see-ums, whatever it is, this Dynatrap is amazing.
Peter, you know, when you decide to have a cookout or a pool party or a barbecue or a birthday party for your kids, we often don't think about that, right? We're like, oh, we're having a party. Well, who's going to bring the chicken? Who's bringing the Chick-fil-A? Who's doing all that stuff? Make sure the kids bring their suits and towels. And then the kids or the grown-ups get to your party, and now it's like, oh my gosh, did anybody bring bug spray? Oh my gosh, I'm getting eaten alive. And a lot of people, and I know a lot of women that are in my life. My mom, my son's girlfriend, Lily, her mother. You know, when I'm with them, they're like, oh my gosh, the bugs eat me alive. And I don't know if it's blood type, I don't know what it is, but I know certain people really have an issue with it. That can ruin your whole night, right? I mean, if you're going camping, I think the only time we really think about bugs is when we go camping. But we live in a world of bugs and insects. They're the most popular, thing on our planet is bugs, right? I don't want to get rid of all of them. I just don't want to live with them in my yard, especially while I'm having a cookout or a barbecue or having friends over, because literally, Lily, when she comes over, I mean, I have one now, it's not as bad, and it's not even close. But when she used to first come over a few years ago, when Danny and her were first dating, she wouldn't go out on the patio after 4 o'clock because her little ankles would get eaten alive by gnats. Now, between that, and I also use my No More Bugs, my spray, which is we offer here, which I love. Between that combination, the bulk of the bugs are being eliminated by the Dynatrap. And if I got a few left over, I don't mind using a natural spray that we sell, you know, if I want to use that, because I love that stuff. But I have basically turned a really kind of a crappy evening into a really good evening, right? Because I've controlled what can ruin the whole night, which is everybody slapping mosquitoes off their neck and their back. And if you've got little ones, is there anything worse than like a 4 or 5-year-old getting stung by a mosquito like on their cheek? And little kids don't even realize they got bugs on them, right? Because they're too busy playing. Put this in a corner of a yard, plug it in, and enjoy. And here's the thing, you got 30 days to try this. Get one of the sizes home. I've got them down there. There's the 1/4 acre, there's the 1/2 acre, there's the large one, okay? Whatever yard you want. There's the small one. So if you live in an apartment or a condo, perfect, get a small one. If you live in a larger place, get a medium. Big place, get a large. You can always get 2 small or 2 medium. It's totally up to you, depending on how your yard is set up. Try it out. You're gonna be like me. In a week, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna open up that tray and you're gonna see hundreds of bugs. Hundreds of mosquitoes that would have kept that chain. They would have made more baby mosquitoes, more and more, hundreds every day. Instead, you've gotten rid of those, and you did it in a humane way. Hit the button, put it out in your garden, just mulch them into your garden. All right, it's good for your garden anyway, but get them home. That's the average of how many bugs are disposed of in a week. With the acre, 2,900 on average, 7 days. With the 1/2 acre, 2,500 bugs. That's a pile of bugs, okay? And listen, if you're getting attacked by 2 dozen, 3 dozen mosquitoes a night, I don't know what the average is. Think about how many mosquitoes 2,500 is in a week. So you are actively getting rid of those mosquitoes in your neighborhood. And Peter, you're the one that taught me that mosquitoes especially, they're territorial. They don't go like a mile away. They stay in your yard, right?
Oh yeah, those are your mosquitoes, and if you don't do something about it, you know, they're just going to stay there. So if we think about a lot of these other methods, maybe we think we're just going to repel them a little bit and they're in the neighbor's yard, but as soon as that all stops, they kind of come back. this is going to actively reduce the amount of bugs that you have in your yard by trapping them. So, Guy, we were talking about that. We've got the light and the warmth and the carbon dioxide to bring them in. We're trapping them where they suck them down with that fan. But here's the really neat part about it. Dynatrap also developed the perfect way to use your Dynatrap to make sure that being outside is great. So it means we're not going to put it right where I am around our table or where we're eating or where we're relaxing. We're going to put it away from that. So we can see over there, I've got the graphite, 1 acre, hanging over there. So you can see it's 30 to 40 feet away. That's where you want it, because now we're going to draw all the bugs away from where we're eating, where we're spending time. Draw them over there, trap them, and then we're not going to have to worry about them. But here's the other thing about it. When you get it, you want to put it 3 to 6 feet off the ground, which is really important. That's the fly zone for those biting insects. But number one is plug it in and run it 24 hours a day. Because imagine, you know, when you spray yourself with the chemicals or you put the candles out, they're not doing anything when you're not out there. But this Dynatrap, 24 hours a day, especially at night where it does its best work, is trapping mosquitoes while you're sleeping, while you're at work, all week long. It's doing the most to reduce that population. So run it 24 hours a day. The full acre costs less than 8 cents a day to run. That half acre and the quarter acre, less than 2 cents a day to run. So I can't stress that enough. You want to be successful and have a great time outdoors. Running this 24 hours a day is the way to go. And then the other part, I know immediately people say, yeah, but what do I have to do every day? What do I have to buy to make it keep working? What do I have to add to it? Nothing. Zero maintenance. I want everyone to get it home, plug it in, run it 24 hours a day, check it 30 days later. You'll see the bugs. You'll see that it's working. You'll be enjoying outdoors, but you don't have to do anything. Even emptying it, which is brand new this season, that bottom emptying, one touch of a button, but you're not going to have to do that every day, every week, even every month. It really depends on your bugs, and when it's time to do it, you mentioned it, Guy, it is super easy. So yeah, I can't think of a better combination of that technology and how to use it to make sure that you are going to be bug-free this summer.
You know what I love too, Peter, is that we're doing the quarter acre this year. I think that's brilliant, because we had a lot of people last year that were on the fence about spending the money on the half acre because they didn't have a lot of property, and they're like, well, yeah, maybe I'll just put it off. We are doing the quarter acre so we can take care of everybody, even those people that live in apartments or condos. Like, look at my mom. My mom has no, I mean, she's in a condo, but she doesn't have a yard, right? It's a community association, but she does have a screen porch, so she could put it in the corner of the porch because mosquitoes will go right through the screen, especially no-see-ums, and she could control them that way. So honestly, we have lots of choices. I want to go through the colors. I know we have a long presentation, so I didn't rush right into it. I will tell you, the only ones that we're sold out of right now is the quarter acre in the forest, all right? But if you want black, 200 in the quarter acre left in black. Stone, 300 left in the quarter acre. I'm okay in every other color. Remember, we have the stone, we have the forest, we have the graphite. Did I miss any of them? Is that it? Let me see, hold on. I think there's 5. Graphite, bronze. We also have it available in the bronze, all right? And remember that the bronze and the forest and the graphite you can only get here. A lot of you are noticing a difference from last year in the design. We decided with Dynatrap, they said, you know what, we're gonna give you an exclusive floral, kind of a mesh pattern on the bottom to make it a little more decorative, because God's honest truth, if you see this on a shepherd's hook in the corner of somebody's yard, you're just gonna think it's a lantern. It doesn't look like a bug zapper, because it's not a zapper. It's a bug trap, okay? Zapping, don't get me wrong, and I said it in my first airing, when I was a kid, that was the fun. That we'd be like, oh my gosh, listen to that zap. The problem is they're dirty, they're nasty. If you get a moth in one of those things, it burns for like 1.5 minutes. And that's really kind of gross for most people. You know, we were little kids and we thought it was funny, but then poor Dad had to go there with a screwdriver and pick a dead moth out. You don't have to deal with that. Everything gets trapped, and I'll have Peter show you again that the suction of how it gets trapped in when he has time, he can show you that. But basically, it's 3 different things, okay? It's the ultraviolet light, which insects are attracted to. Anybody that's driven by a street light or any kind of light, insects are attracted to, but especially UV. The next thing is the carbon dioxide, which is what humans give off. They replicate that in the machine so that the bugs think it's a person. So they're going to eat something, right? The last thing is that suction, which pulls it in the little trap door, where it is humanely just dies of its natural causes inside there because it's not eating, right? And it suffocates. So, and then all you do is hit one button to dump it out into your mulch or into your dumpster. I put it back in the yard. Let nature take care of nature. Recycle, right? Thank you, Peter. What's going on there, Pete?
Yeah, that's what happens when, as you just described, when those biting insects get too close, they think they're about to bite you or I, and then they get sucked in by that fan down into that collection basket. So you can see that's what we're doing. So normally we used to think of, you just described it, that horrible zapping and the smell and the noise, but not anymore. We're trapping. We're going to bring them down into that collection basket. So that's the big difference. So we're bringing them in with those 3 different attractants, the warmth, the light, and then also that carbon dioxide that we're producing. But then it's just that suction that brings them down. So whether it's the full acre, the half, or the quarter, they all operate the same way. Now, Guy, I always like to talk about how we decide what size might be best for us. So certainly on the area of your yard, that's why we're saying acre, half, and a quarter. But I also think, let's think about how large of a problem you have. The larger your problem with bugs, then maybe go for a larger size and not just focus on the area. So I have the full acre back here, certainly not an acre in my backyard, but I think that I've got a massive mosquito problem.
Sure.
I get bit like nobody else, so I went with the full acre. If you have a front porch and a backyard like I do, maybe you go for 2 half acres, so you're covered in the front. Because if you have a full acre in the back and then your house is blocking the entire front, it's not going to really be able to cover the front as well, because that's going to be a bit of a barrier with the house in between. So 2 half acres. Smaller areas, maybe a garage, that balcony, that workshop, this quarter acre is going to be perfect for that as well. And I think you mentioned it earlier, or maybe you have 2 small areas, or maybe it's on either end of a larger wraparound porch kind of area. Maybe 2 quarter acres are good for that. So the size of the area, but don't forget about the size of your problem, because that can really tell you to bump up to a bigger one to make sure you can tackle that problem for the whole summer.
I would say also, Peter, it might be a good idea to go to the full acre if you live near a lake or near a river or a stream, because we all know breeding areas for bugs are usually standing water. And by the way, that's a great tip if you, since we're a gardening show, if you've got your potted plants and they have a liner underneath that, it's a good idea in bug season to put a hole in the liner as well, because you do not want to have standing water, even on your plants, okay? Because, and I know that, you're trying to keep the water from dripping around, but it's a good idea. Look around your yard. Make sure you have no, obviously, tire tubes or things like that laying around where mosquitoes love to nest. But realistically, just put one of these out in your yard. And by the way, I want to mention something too. We haven't even talked about the HSN credit card. If you get a new credit card today, take another $40 off any one of these, which means quarter acre is free. With a brand, if you get a new credit card, you've never used it before, you use it today, they're going to give you $40. That covers the $39. You'll have to pay a little tax and a little shipping. But the shipping is minimal, especially on that quarter acre. So get that home. But take the $40 off any one of these, okay? You'll absolutely love it. There's the small quarter acre and the half and the large full acre. We want to show you the size difference. But remember, the technology is the same on all 3. Real quick, we have a couple of things that we're also offering, which is the shepherd's hook. I always tell people to get it because everybody's like, I'll hang it wherever I want. Then they get it to their house and like, where are we going to hang this thing? We have a shepherd's hook that stakes into the ground so that you can put this thing anywhere, all right? Information right there on the screen. It's only 22 bucks. There's a hook on top of your Dynatrap that just hooks right on the end, and now you can put that. And remember, Peter will give you some idea of where to put it when we go back to him. But I always say, keep it away from you and your party. You want to keep it at least 40, 50 feet away so that the mosquitoes go there. If you have a small front yard and a small backyard, you could do a half acre, a quarter acre in either one. You get 2 of those, right? If you've got one big area, like my brother Darren, he's got like probably 2.5 acres in his backyard with a swimming pool. Now, he may want to put 2 half acres there on either side of the pool, right? Or he might want to put a full acre way out in the yard and a half acre up on his near his deck. You can figure that out. Peter will kind of talk about that a little bit more as we go. 12,300 people have picked this up today. It's so successful. And what you want to be able, I want you to take a good look at Peter and myself right now. Look at us. All right? Do you want to spend, first of all, you'll notice there is a difference in skin color. Peter, we got to get you out in the sun. The next thing you'll notice, although we both look amazing in our blue shirt, But Peter, what are we not doing? We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Relaxing.
Exactly. And I like, Guy, that we don't have to prepare to go outside. We don't have to think about, well, what do we got to do? Do we have to spray? Do we have to get those candles and light them? You don't have to do any of that because I have the Dynatrap just behind me there on the shepherd's hook, and it's running 24 hours a day. So I don't have to worry about it at all. I can just come outside. I should have some lemonade or something out here with me and just start to relax. That's what the great weather's all about. That's why you've spent all this time and money in getting your outdoor area, perfect so you can spend time out there. The only thing that can send you back inside is those bugs biting you and making it just miserable to be outside. But let this run 24 hours a day. That's probably most important. Get it home. You've got 30 days to really test it out, prove it to yourself, but run it 24 hours a day, and you'll see the difference. And then the best part is after that, when you know it's working, is you never have to think about it again. If you have the full acre, honestly, I can't imagine that you would even have to attempt to empty that. It'd be months, literally months, that you would never, ever have to even go out and take a look at it. Remember, leave these outside all weather. They're perfect in the weather. You're set to go. You don't have to do anything. And Guy, I've tried all those other methods where you have to constantly update and add more and buy more. Oh, I forgot to go to the store and replace that. 30 days you have to do this. Every 2 weeks you have to do this.
Nothing.
Not with Dynatrap. The best technology, the best kind of how to use it, placement, and then forget about it. And while I'm sitting here, pretty close to it, I have it a little bit closer today for the show, but it's silent. I don't hear it. I don't smell anything. There's no chemicals. There's nothing at all except I can hear the birds. It's Peter, perfect to be outside when it's running.
You said pennies a day, right?
That's right. Full acre is less than 8 cents a day, and the other two, quarter and a half acre, are going to be less than 2 cents a day to run. So it's so worth it to run it 24 hours a day.
That's $2.40 a month for $2.40 a month. Is it worth it for you? Do you want to be slapping bugs around all day, or you want to spend? That's on the big one. The other one, the small one, 2 cents a day, 60 cents a month, right? That means if you use it for 6 months, you're spending a few dollars. Not even that, all right? To be able to take care of your property. And I've always been a little bit leery because I see the companies here in Florida that come and spray. I'm like, yeah, but now I've sprayed all my garden, right? My trees, all that stuff, my palm trees are all getting sprayed with a chemical that's going to kill bugs. And I know they say it's safe on your plants, but then you know what? Why do that? And do you know how much it costs to spend money on getting your property sprayed? It's a heck of a lot more than a Dynatrap. I can tell you that right now, okay? And then there's maintenance that goes along with that. What Peter referred to before, which was brilliant, is the fact that you saw him sitting there in his chair. The only work he did was he ordered one. That's it. And plugged it in, all right? And hung it. That's it. Once you do that, you don't touch it. And Peter also mentioned you never turn this off during bug season. You have to understand it works round the clock to rid yourself of the population. You're not, remember, it only costs pennies a day. So it's not worth turning it off and then allowing some of those bugs to come back when you're sleeping. So this works around the clock. And by the way, the insects don't go to sleep. All right, they may rest, but they're not like, oh, it's daytime, we're gonna go hide. I know they're more prevalent at night when the temperature is cooler, but let me just tell you, if I'm outside working in my garden in the middle of the afternoon, I can see mosquitoes coming after me because they're sensing that carbon dioxide, they're sensing your sweat, and they're sensing a meal. I wouldn't blame them, I'd come after me too. I mean, it's a free meal. Let them go somewhere else. Control the population in your area, okay? So let me go through the price. We're gonna bring up what Dynatrap charges for these on their website, all right? They gave us 1 day, and we teamed up with them. They're friends of ours. And they said, well, tell you what, we know you're such a good customer of ours, and we have a great relationship. 1 day, because it's early, we know a lot of people are gonna balk and be like, oh, I'm gonna wait till July when I'm already getting bitten, which is stupid. I don't mean to call you stupid. It's not wise. Get it now. So our today's special is $39.95 for the quarter acre. If you get the buy it at Dynatrap, it's $104, okay? Half acre, $79 here, $174 there. If you get the full acre, they're charging $284. We're charging $129 for 1 day only. You can use FlexPay. If you get a new credit card, you can get $40 off any of those prices. We've reduced the shipping. All you gotta do is pick a color. That's the bronze. Comes available in stone. There's the forest green. There's a stone next to it. It also comes in a graphite black. The only ones that I don't have is I don't have it in the forest green, the quarter acre, and the graphite black in the quarter acre is also ready to sell out, I think. No, which one? Stone. 190 left in the black and 250 left in the stone. That's in the quarter acre. I'm okay on the other sizes if you want to pick those up. If you want to get a look at the size of it, there it is. That's how big the big one is. Okay, it's about 2 feet tall. Goes probably about the same, maybe a little bit larger, going around in a circle. You hang it from that shepherd's hook. You plug it in. Get yourself an extension. Plug it in, and never deal with it again. I mean, literally, with the large one, like Peter said, you don't even have to empty it all summer because it's got a big enough trap in there to hold all the bugs all summer. You're going to want to because it's fun to do, and it's fun to see that your investment is paying off. But I'm telling you, Pete, get this thing home. Now, for those of you that maybe have a weak stomach, Peter's going to show you exactly what's inside when you check it at the end of the month. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, this is, again, I know we have a couple of studies that we can show the graphics for those, but here, again, this is just 2 weeks. Now, these weren't done by me. I have another jar of my own, but this is 2 weeks, I believe, outside Chicago. And again, it's just an expectation of what this can do. It can work. I mean, the studies that were done show thousands of bugs collected in 7 days. So it's amazing the results that you're going to get. So this is really, again, an example. Get it home. See what you can capture, trap in 30 days, and then you'll know that you're set for the rest of the summer because you just keep that running 24 hours a day. And yeah, it is kind of fun when you know that these are not biting you, not available to bite anyone in the family anymore. It's satisfying to know, hey, this is really working. The technology that we talked about, that light, that UV light that's going to last 27 months, that's working, along with the warmth and producing that carbon dioxide, all of that, drawing you in, and, well, not you, Guy, but the bugs, and then really just trapping them down in there with that fan, vacuuming them in, that they're not going to bite anymore, that it really works. When you place it in that right area, away from where you're outside, if you run it 24 hours a day, you're going to have that same kind of success. It really works. And it does it, you know, kind of simple, silent, and it's safe. I mean, it's the perfect way to make sure that you enjoy outside.
Yeah, and here's an idea of how you can put it up. We recommend that you place it 3 to 6 feet above the ground. And then it's up to you. Everybody's property is different, but I would put it, like we said, 20, 30, 40 feet away from people. You want the bugs to be drawn to it, not where the people are. And this will be much more of an attractive place for them to go than to people because it exacerbates that scent and everything else. We also have an attractant that you can pick up separately. We'll show you that a little bit later. But the bottom line is that you're going to eliminate those bugs for the most part, okay? You may have a couple of stragglers, but my issue is not one mosquito. My issue is when I've got company outside, like when Lily comes over, Danny's girl, and she doesn't want to be outside because there's so many no-see-ums biting her ankles, right? You don't want to deal with that. And by the way, you know we're streaming live on Facebook. Again, I apologize to my Facebook friends. Just way too hectic to try to monitor Facebook while I'm doing this crazy show today. But we are giving away a $25 gift card for what's your most hated bug? What's the one that drives you the most crazy? Is it a mosquito, a gnat, no-see-um, stink bugs? What is it? You'll win $25 if we pick your answer today. So anyway, there it is right on the bottom of the screen. Get this thing home. I can't think of an easier way, Peter, to control the problem. In fact, I've seen these types of machines and units in some of the best hotels, right? When they have an outdoor gathering area, they put these things up. People that do weddings, right? These things, you see them in places where commercial, you know, people are doing their business because they can't have those events ruined. And you know, an outbreak of mosquitoes or no-see-ums can ruin anybody's party. It can ruin a wedding, outdoor wedding, and you forgot to get some of these. Here's the bugs it works on: mosquitoes, flies, wasps, even even hornets, right? Let me tell you, I've been stung by hornets. I went into a buddy of mine's, grandpa's old broken down truck that he hadn't driven in years. We shut the door and it was a wasp nest inside. We each got stung about 8 times. It was terrible. So wasps, we talk about the rest of the bugs that were on that list. If you want to take care of them, gnats. You know what I think my worst is? Because mosquitoes don't bother me so much. I don't like flies. I hate, and that includes horse flies. I do not like flies, and I don't like no-see-ums. Honestly, I'm not really sure what a musket is, but I'm sure that packs a mean punch as well. The dreaded, elusive but angry musket. It's a bug as well. I didn't even know it was a bug. Peter, have you ever heard of a musket?
Of course.
What is it? Is it here in Florida, Pete?
Savage. No, I really
Savage musket. All right. Anyway,
no,
go ahead, Pete.
So these, you know what's funny, Guy, about all those bugs that you're seeing? There's many more biting insects that would be attracted to the Dynatrap. Those are the ones that have been tested that it definitely works on. So again, and every year they're testing more and more specific different types of biting insects that are attracted to this. But if the insect that's not on that list is one that's in your yard, that doesn't mean it's not going to attract that as well and do a great job on that. Those are just the ones that have been tested, just like we did those tests, those 7-day and 14-day tests, and show how many bugs it's trapped. It does. It works on many others. And brand new, I wanted to mention it again, is that this is the first time, first time we've had the 1/4 acre, but the first time that all 3 of these now have that one touch of a button, bottom emptying. So when you've collected all those mosquitoes, those gnats, those no-see-ums, all you do is one touch, the bottom drops out, and you can get rid of that. So there's no touching those dead bugs. It's not, you know, you're not getting close to them. It makes it super easy to empty. And again, the few times that you have to empty this, you may have to empty the 1/4 or the 1/2 a little bit more because they're a little bit smaller, but they're still doing a great job at bringing in all those biting insects. But you are going to love this because you're not going to have to think about it on a weekly or a monthly basis. We keep stressing that. Get it home, test it for yourself, plug it in and let it run 24 hours a day, and the technology that Dynatrap has developed will do the rest. They won't just repel bugs. We're not going to zap. We're going to trap. But we're reducing the female bugs, the mosquitoes, for example, that are going to reproduce and make more mosquitoes. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. Reduce that population means fewer biting insects in your yard, and it means having a much better time being outside. If you're like me, I get bit a ton. Guy's making excuses because he doesn't get bit. I'm not sure why.
I'm too manly, Peter. I think it's just I'm too manly. I don't know what it is.
I can't doubt that. I can't.
I think it's blood type, but I don't know.
I know. It could be. But you know the person in your family who just gets a terrible time every time they go outside. Do it for them. I mean, get it for that person. If it's you, definitely do it.
Yeah, listen, there is nothing worse than struggling with bugs. And you know what? I'll be honest with Peter. It's really just mosquitoes. Gnats and things like that, they still drive me. Flies, black flies, all that stuff, they drive me nuts. And so what we've got is a multi-pronged attack to be able to get rid of all those things. You can see we're almost at 13,000 of these spoken for. We're going to be there before the end of the show, probably before the end of this, even at the end of this airing. But get them home, all right? We have a better price than Dynatrap by almost 50%. They gave us a 1-day deal because it's early in the season. Get it now. We've got extra bulbs available, and the extra bulbs are like $15, $20, so that in 3 or 4 years when you got to change the bulb, you got a bulb. We have the shepherd's hook so you can hang it as well. You know, I told you earlier, and I'm God's honest truth, which is between Dynatrap and my No More Bugs, which is also a type of repellent, which is earth-friendly repellent because it has cedar oil. Between these 2 items, I never worry about bugs. I won't see them. And the 1 or 2 that get near me, I've got the No More Bugs on me. I am covered. It's a little bit of effort, tiny bit, that can really pay off. And the easiest part is to get yourself a Dynatrap, all right? Because now you're already lessening by a huge amount the number of bugs on your property. You can't get rid of every one. There might be 1 or 2 that are gonna come around, but it's better 1 or 2 than 300 or 400, right? We just went over 13,000 gone. I got a couple minutes left. Peter, if you wouldn't mind, will you kind of start us at the top and kind of go through, I'd love to find out, just see how it works again. What size we should use while we still got a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, let's do that. Again, let's focus on that bulb first thing, that we have that UV LED bulb. So if we come right in here, Harry, you with me? There he goes. You can see that bulb. That's going to last 27 months. Scientifically developed to attract more bugs than ever, to bring them in, to create the warmth, to heat up that titanium plate, to create carbon dioxide, which is what we exhale, and that's what brings in all the bugs around us. So these bugs think that they found someone where they can get that blood that they're looking for and bite. But what's going to happen is as they get curious and get close, this powerful fan draws them down into that collection basket. So you can see that pulling in those bugs as they get close. And things like the no-see-ums and the gnats and those mosquitoes, I mean, they're not strong flyers, right? They're going to get drawn right in there, and that's where they're going to stay. So that's how the technology works. It makes it easy. There's no chemicals. All three of these are on. It's virtually silent, so it's safe as well. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to put it over there. We're going to put it away from us, 30 to 40 feet away. Shepherd's hook is perfect, and let it run 24 hours a day. That's the secret, because it's reducing the population of biting insects in your yard while you're sleeping, while you're at work. When it's time to go outside, there's nothing to think about. Just go outside and enjoy this summer. I mean, it's the best way to have a fantastic summer.
I think so too, and you know what? It's that little what we call, you know, the ounce of prevention, right? You want to make sure that you're set up. You want to enjoy your summer. I mean, we are, look where we are right now, right? We are moving along, and it's hard to believe that Christmas was like 4 months ago, right? It goes so quickly, and May will be here before you know it. We are at Easter. I mean, gosh, this year is already going by quick. The bugs are coming. I said before, if it's 50 degrees or above, you know, Peter talked about that in his show earlier in the morning. He's saying, you know, it's 50 degrees above, your bugs are already starting to come out. They're already starting to multiply, all right? One mosquito, female mosquito, 100 to 200 eggs at a pop. So it doesn't take long for you to have thousands, hundreds of thousands of mosquitoes or gnats or no-see-ums in your yard. Get one of these, control the population. You'll absolutely love it. 3 sizes, 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, or 1 acre. If you're concerned about what size, I would always go up, all right? The 1/2 acre is a good middle of the road. If you need more than one, take advantage of that. It's a one day where we're about 50%. We are about 50% if you average them out off the dynatrap.com website. I have to say goodbye to my good friend, Peter Kilcullen, but he's my good friend. I'm sure I will see him again. You have a wonderful day. Continued success, Peter, with Dynatrap.
Thanks, guy. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
All right, my bro. Be good. 079609 is the item number there. I have to mention something. You remember the pressure washer from before?